on, traders, and welcome back to my channel. First, I just want to say thank you and that I appreciate you guys for being here. If you're new to the channel, my name's Alex. I'm an FX trader as well as a trading/mindset coach for ASFX. If you're not familiar with ASFX, it's an awesome educational platform and community built by Austin Silver to help new, struggling, and even seasoned traders find their edge in the market with a strategy that has exact entry and exit signals, as well as a very detailed risk management plan. This is the exact strategy that I use when I'm taking trades in the FX market every day. I actually use one of the entry signals from that strategy to spot this Euro USD trade that we're going to talk about today. If you're interested in learning more about ASFX, I'll leave a link in the description for you guys so you guys can check it out on your free time. And before we get started, I just want to remind you guys to go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so you don't miss any future uploads. But anyways, with all of that out the way, let's roll the intro and let's get right into the charts. All right, guys, so what we have in front of us is the Euro USD on the 15-minute chart, which is the time frame that we usually like to trade in. We primarily use the 15-minute and the 1 minute to mostly look for our entries because we are primarily intraday traders. That doesn't mean that we shy away from going to the higher time frames to look for more confirmation, but our primary is definitely the 15-minute and the 1 minute chart. And now you can see that what I have plotted in front of you is my R&R tool where I took this trade. So I got in around down here at 10.092, and I ended up pretty much closing the position out about 70 pips up, which was at 10.79.2, and I had a 15 pip stop at 0.9942. To go into how I found this trade, let's go to the 1 hour. So we could see that pretty much since the beginning of the week, since Monday, which was right here, right? Since Memorial Day, we had been trending up through the changeover a week, right? So the first thing I did when I went to go find this trade was see what kind of trend I was in, and I was still uptrending here, right? I also noticed that price, when I looked at it, was at this level of structure. So that was kind of like the first sign, well, the second sign really, that this pair could definitely, keep coming up. And we also use EMAs in the ASFX strategy to pretty much determine the trend, how strong the trend is, which way it's trending, as well as plotting specific levels where price can pull back to and come off of. So we use the 8, the 21, the 50, the 200, and the 800. And when you plot all of these EMAs, you can clearly see that we were in a strong uptrend since Monday, right? When I got on the charts, price was around this level here, which was a strong level of support as we've seen from the higher time frame. And what's also interesting is that if we plot our ADR indicator, which is the average daily range indicator, which pretty much determines roughly how much a pair moves on any given day, right? And right here at this structure level was also the ADR max to the downside, right? So this added another confluence for me to look for a long off of this level. So confluence one was the fact that we are in an uptrend, so I want to be primarily looking for longs, especially with this liquid 50 and the TDI being very long bias right here. You can see that pretty much since, what's this, Wednesday it was in the buy zone, Thursday it was in the buy zone, and the Thursday and Friday it was still in the buy zone. So we had like 3 reasons for confluence. We had the fact that price was at a support level, price was at ADR low, and we were also trending up via EMAs, right? And in our strategy, we like to look for continuations or reversals at the 50 EMA level, which is this like cyan blue line, right? So price was literally right below it, slightly below it, and that was confluence number 4 for us to look for a signal to go long, which in our strategy is called a D1 signal, and that is a divergence entry signal taken on the 1 minute time frame. Now, if we end up plotting down to the 1 minute time frame, divergence is classified as a discrepancy between price action and a momentum indicator. In this case, we use the TDI, which is the Traders Dynamic Index, which is a momentum indicator for us. If price action is moving one way and the momentum indicator is moving the opposite way, then that's a symbol of divergence. So as you can see here, price action was making lower lows, right? But if you look at the RSI, I mean the TDI, you can see that we were making higher highs on the bottom, right? So even if you draw that out, so the first divergence point that I like to draw out is always at an oversold region or an overbought region, right? So you can see here, this point right here is the first point of divergence, right? And you can see that price action was making lows. But if you draw it on the RSI from that point where we picked out on price action, you could see that the RSI was trending upwards. That gave me even more confluence to look for a long play here. So on the D1 signal, what we like to do is we like to wait for the divergence to build, and we like to wait for a 50 EMA break with the liquid 50 pulling into the zone that we're looking to trade in, right? In this case, I was looking to go long. So I was waiting for the liquid 50 to break the 50 and the 800 EMA here, because those levels on the 1 minute are, change in bias levels that once they break, there's a good chance that we start seeing a shift in bias, right? As long as the liquid 50 follows suit. So I took entry right here, as you can see. So my entry was like around this area, right? As price ended up coming lower, finally, it came down, made a higher low in this point, and at this higher low in the 1 minute, price rallied to the upside, breaking both the 50 and the 800 EMA here, right? It breaks the 50, breaks the 800, holds a little bit, chops around, and I think the chop is due to the fact that it did get overbought pretty quickly here, right? So right when I took my entry, I pretty much immediately went into drawdown, but I was still confident in this position. I trusted my stop, and as you could see, that price pretty much was like 2 or 3 pips away from my stop loss here, right? And at this point, I actually literally had to step away from the charts to kind of keep my emotions in check and not try to close this trade early, just because I was seeing a little bit of drawdown. And being that I was very patient, it ended up being very rewarding. Now, if we plot up to the 15 minute here, you could see that price pretty much just rallied all the way up. Obviously, I didn't hold the full position, the full size throughout the full move, because to me, that's a little, daunting. So the way I handled it, trade management wise, was once I got to high of day right here, this is the high of day pin right there, I ended up closing about half my position, as you can see by the little candles right there telling me that I ended up selling that position, right? So I closed about half there and let it run a little bit more. And then I closed a little bit more on this candle here. And then I closed more up here until I finally decided to take profit. That was a very profitable trade. I hope that you guys found some value. Kind of saw how we look at the charts and how we use our signals to find these pinpoint entries. I hope that you guys can see how strong the strategy is and being able to pinpoint like the very low or the very high of a move. So yeah. All right, guys, so that pretty much wraps up the recap. I really appreciate you guys stopping by to check out my channel, and I hope you guys gained some value out of this video. If you enjoyed this video, do me a favor and smash that like button, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, leave a comment below. I love interacting with other traders or those looking to get into trading. Now, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at AlexAlfonso_FX. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next video.